Hello, welcome to another patch roundup. Just a real quick one here. They released what they're changing after the beta. I believe this patch is going live tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, I think the DLC is hitting pretty soon. I feel like I remember them saying it's coming out on the 15th. It's currently the 14th. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is out tomorrow. Don't quote me on that, but if I remember correctly. You can just look at the announcement that they made back in June about when it is coming out. But I wanted to round up the changes real quick just so that everyone's on the same page. If you're looking for my thoughts, you'll see them here as well. Going to be really quick because I'm going to skip over all the bug fixes and all of the gameplay changes that don't affect just straight up Covenant 25 challenges and all that. I haven't done them. I don't have a thought on them yet. And really, like, if they change the difficulty of the challenge, it doesn't really matter because you only do them once anyway. So I'm not going to be doing them multiple times. So there's, I believe, 5 changes in here that actually affect the game. The first change here is for a challenge. The second change here, changing the order of operations on Cleanse Seraph so it cleanses effects before spawning a unit instead of after. It's like a really weird change, I feel like. It's super, super low impact. The number of cases where you're even going to notice this, you could probably go like 200 runs and not even notice that this change occurred. But what it is if Seraph spawns a 15-3 on the top floor as chased and you have like root split mask, the cleanse happens and then the root occurs. So the 15-3 will be rooted that Seraph spawned. Sure, right? Like, cool. This isn't really going to matter that much. I think the only thing that it really matters on is Light's Gift, as they indicated here. Maybe that daze is really important for your strategy, but like if your strategy is Light's Gift dazing, you're probably going to die anyway, because Chase is going to clear it on accident to like a big wave. So, I don't know. It's an interesting change. It feels like something that I will probably never recognize happened. This is a mutator change, this is a challenge change, and this is a challenge change as well. So on to change number 6, which is the big one here, the one that made me want to make this video, the Onehorns change. Onehorn's Tome Ember cost is reduced back down to 5 from 6, but it now adds Fragile to the target and can only target friendly units. So I have a few different things I want to say about this. The effect is like frustrating, I feel like. So the idea here is because I looked at the wording of fragile, and what this does is if they take health damage, they die now. So I think that the idea here is that you're supposed to like put this on a backline unit that you're stacking armor on, right? Basically, it's supposed to be better in Hellhorn, I imagine, because you're going to be able to protect your unit with armor. You're not going to be able to go super insane on like just super stacking like Penumbra, right? Because then Penumbra is going to be fragile. It's a weird change because I don't know. It feels like it adds a bit of randomness to the run now that wasn't there before, right? The six energy Onehorns Tome, I didn't like it. As I said in the original video, it just makes it so you can't double stack, but I've played with it and it's still okay, right? You just take energy, you double cost reduce it, and you get a free multi-strike. That's cool. The big benefit there is you can play the multi-strike on your champion. Other units you can just buy multi-strike on, but it's like a big thing for your champion. But now outside of Hellhorn Stygian, you really, really can't put Fragile onto like Rector onto Penumbra, right? Because they're gonna be typically tanking Rector, and there's no way to apply armor to them. It's it's randomness, right? It really is randomness because there's runs where this makes absolutely no difference for your Hornbreaker Prince, right? There's runs where you play this card and it changes nothing. Hornbreaker Prince just chills. And there's also runs where you go against Rage Fell and you go, oh, just can't play this for 4 or 5 rounds, right? I don't necessarily hate it. I feel like it just it becomes like not an auto win condition, but it becomes like not an auto win condition only sometimes. And if it's a problem, you can just not play it, obviously. If it's like, oh, Sower of Sorrows. Really, really, this hurts if you pick this up and you go against Sower of Sorrows on 4 or 5 and he sweeps your Hornbreaker Prince away. But I guess it's weird. I think that it's a bit more elegant, but it's a little bit more gross as well. I think it's just a little gross, really. I just because it adds more randomness that you have no control over, and if you pick this card and then go, oh, I just can't keep up with the damage output on floor 7 because it's a Pyro Wings combat and I can't keep my Hornbreaker Prince alive with this. It's just that's gonna feel really bad. The other half of this I wanted to say is I don't necessarily. Uh, I think it's weird that they keep doing things like this. Like adaptive mutation is the same way, where you're only allowed to target friendly units with it. I think it would be cool to be able to use this card flexibly, right? Because I think this card would actually be a super easy pick if it was able to target enemies. Because in the combats where it doesn't kill like on combats where it's going to kill your Hornbreaker Prince, you can just use this as like a single target pick, right? You can pick a 190 health heavy with this pretty easily. And I think that's cool. I think that's a really cool flexibility for the card that I'm sad that they're removing. I feel the same way about adaptive mutation. There are combats where adaptive mutation just like isn't very good, and then you could use it to snipe a single heavy instead because the card consumes. And if you want to remove consume and go insane with it, then you should be allowed to. I don't know. I think that that's one of those things that's like they're trying to rein in flexibility, and I think it hurts the game in the long run. And if your rebuttal is, oh well, what if you just like switch Seraph's health? Just don't allow that. It's really easy. Like that seems really easy. Just don't allow it to target bosses, and then it's a really interesting card. That's the main change that I had a lot to talk about on. The other changes are like, whatever. Change 7 is a challenge change. Change 8 is weird. Steel Enhancer Ember cost reduced from 1 to 0. The thing that really makes me go, huh, what a strange change, is like, can't upgrade Steel Enhancer now. Because all you could ever really do to it is give it -1, right? You can't double stack it, you can't remove consume. You can, I mean, I guess you can permafrost it, but like, why? So you can upgrade it, but why would you waste a permafrost or a holdover on it, right? I think it's a fine change because Steel Enhancer is super, super underwhelming, and maybe I'll pick this more now that it costs 0. But strange, right? Very, very strange. This is a change that I really did not see coming. Number 9, the other big one here. Volatile Gauge now randomizes between 1 and 3 instead of 0 and 4. See that run where I drew Big Sludge at 4 cost 3 turns in a row and know why this change has to happen? But I still... It's okay, right? This is fine. Volatile Gauge is probably now about in line with where they want it to be, because they wanted to hit it a little bit. You can still -1 your cards, like you can -1 spells to hopefully have them land at 0 on the roll, and you can just like not play your characters, or if you have to, you play them at 3, right? You're never gonna be like, oh, it can't play Big Sludge, oh, it can't play Big Sludge, oh, it can't play Big Sludge, and then you just die. That was a tongue twister, dude. Holy moly. And then the final change here, also a final class there, Volatile Gauge change, it had to happen. 0 to 4 was unplayable. It felt so horrible. It was such a crazy roll. 1 to 3 is a lot more controlled. Wrathful Path on Hellhorn Champ has its rage gain lowered to +1 per level instead of doubling. I knew it was going to happen. I feel like it's okay, right? 2, 3, 4, or was it? It's 2, 3, 5? Oh, that's weird. Okay, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, that's. I had a high feeling that this was gonna happen, but I liked where it was when it was 2, 4, 8, because committing and then getting that reward of 8 rage felt really good. Committing all 3 levels. Now you probably don't want to commit all 3 levels. I think this change actually just makes it so you really want to pick up 1 multi-strike, which is sad because I feel like there's basically no reason to go all 3 on Rage Prince with this change, but. I suppose, right? He's also like this Rage Prince doesn't get to pick Onehorn Stone anymore because of that fragile change. That's the other thing to note. He does not get Onehorn Stone because he just gets popped. So you have to take multi-strike on him, and I guess that's what this change is for. You're probably never going level 3, so you just hope you get a multi-strike for him. Slay Prince you can go either way, but yeah, I guess it's okay. Like it's a change that has a lot of meaning to it with. Combined with the Onehorns change, but ultimately with the buff to Deranged Brood, it's probably still fine. You're still going to hit the crazy numbers. You need to pop Seraph anyway. And yeah, I think that's about it. That is it. Everything else is bug fixes. I'll have a link to this down below if you want to read the full patch notes yourself. Yeah, that's it. thank you for watching. I said this one was going to be short, and it was indeed short. Turns out I had more to say about Onehorns than I thought. But yeah, cool to see the devs continuing to update and take in feedback. I'm glad that they made changes to the two really big changes that were like, this feels bad. It's interesting that they're not undoing things like the Shadow Siege change and the Glacial Seal nerf, but whatever. Phone rings right at the end of the video. Perfect. Thank you for watching. I'll have more content on this patch, and we'll probably update our opinions as I go. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more Monster Train related content. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.